Hello, good day. Today we are looking at addition and subtraction of fraction. Addition and subtraction of fraction. How to add and then subtract fraction. I know from previous lesson we've learned about fraction, and then we know that fraction is part of a whole, part of a whole. So if you have a whole like this is a whole. If you take part of it, then this become a fraction of it. This also, the other part also becomes a fraction of it. So that was what we learned, and I know that one everybody now can identify or recognize a fraction. So like if you have this, sorry. So this one has been divided into 5 parts. So if I'm talking of this part, then my fraction for this part is going to be 2 out of 5. 2 out of 5. And I remember we talk of something known as numerator and then denominator. The numerator is the upper number, and then the denominator is the lower number. So for today, what we are going to look at is how do we add and then subtract fractions. So if you have fractions, how do you add and then subtract them, two fractions? How are you going to add two fractions? How are you going to subtract two fractions? There are two forms or two types. Some fractions are going to have the same denominators, and others too may have different denominators. So we'll look at it, both of them. We'll look at both of them. So first of all, we're going to look at same or like denominators. So fraction with like denominators. So that means that the bottom number, the denominators are the same. The denominators are so example is if I have 1 out of 2, and then I have 3 out of 2. This and this have the same denominators. This fraction and this fraction have the same denominator of 2. Have the same denominator of 2. So how do you add or subtract this fraction? It's simple. What you do is maintain one of the denominators. Maintain one of the denominators. So keep one of the denominators. Keep one of the denominators. And then add or subtract the numerators. Keep one of the denominators and then add or subtract the numerators depending on what you are. So if I'm to add 1 out of 2 plus 3 out of 2, what I'm going to do is I'm going to maintain the denominators, one of it, which is 2, and I'm going to add the numerators, 1 plus 3. So this one is going to give me 4 out of 2. That's going to give me 4 out of 2. Give me 4 out of 2. Okay. So let's see if I have 4 out of 7 plus 3 out of 7, what do I get for this one? So I'll add the top numbers, the numerators, 4 plus 3, and then I'll maintain this 7, which is 4 plus 3 is 7, 7 out of 7, and 7 out of 7 is also 1. It's also 1. Yeah, so if I want to illustrate this on a number line, meaning I divided this into 7 parts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let me erase. So my tablet is okay. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I've divided into 7 parts. So having 4 out of 7, meaning 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 4 out of 7 is going to be here, the fraction 4 out of 7. All right, so I have 4 out of 7. So this one is going to give me 1 out of 7, 2 out of 7, 3 out of 7, 4 out of 7, 5 out of 7, 6 out of 7, and then 7 out of 7. So if I have 4 out of 7, and then I'm adding 3 out of 7, so which is 1, 2, 3, it lands me at 7 out of 7. 7. So that is like using illustration to do it. Using illustration to do it. But if you want to do it algebraically, just add the top numbers, numerators, and then maintain the denominator. Add the numerators and maintain the denominators. Yeah. So the same way, if I have something that, let's try to divide this into 7 parts. 1, 2, 3. The drawing are not drawn to scale, so don't mind the size of that. In real, they should all be equal size. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 1, let's assume they are all equal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So if I take 1, 2, 3, 4, if I take 4 parts, which is the 4 out of 7, which is the 4 out of 7. So 4 out of 7. And then another part, which is 3 out of 7. So if I put the 4 out of 7 together with the 3 out of 7, you could see that I'm getting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm getting 7 out of 7. So that is how it comes about. You add the numerators and then you maintain one of the denominator. So that is addition of fraction with like denominators. With like denominator, with the same denominators. If the denominators are the same, the bottom numbers are the same, you add the top numbers, the numerators, and then you maintain one of the denominators. Let's look at another example. So if I have 3 out of 11 plus 7 out of 11, so what do? I add the top numbers. 3 plus 7 and then I maintain one of the, because they are the same, 11. And then 3 plus 7 is 10 out of 11. It's 10 out of 11. So that is how it is the same with subtraction. Just that instead of addition, you do subtraction. So if I have 3 out of 10 minus 1 out of 10, the same denominators. So you subtract the numerators and maintain one of the denominators. So I have 3 minus 1 out of 10. 3 minus 1 is what? 2 out of 10. Out of 10. So that is how addition and subtraction of fraction are done if the denominators are the same or like denominators. If the denominators are the same or like denominators. Let's look at a few examples and then we move on and see when the denominators are different. The denominators are different. So let's see, 1 out of 8 plus 3 out of 8. 1 out of 8 plus 3 out of 8. If you want to use the number line to do it, let's see, 1 out of 8, 2 out of 8, 3 out of 8, 4 out of 8, 5 out of 8, there's 6 out of 8, 7 out of 8, and then 8 out of 8. So if I have 1 out of 8, and I'm adding 3 out of 8, which is 1, 2, 3. So that ends me at 4 out of 8. So 1 out of 8 is equal to 1 plus 3 out of 8, which is 4 out of 8. So you can either use the number line to do it, or you use the algebraic method to do it. Or even if you want to use other models, if I have, let's say I have a pi, which I divide into 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then I take one part, I take this part, which is 1 out of 8. And then another person also take another part, 3 out of 8, which is going to be 3 of it. 3 out of 8. So, which parts were taken? The 1 out of 8 plus the 3 out of 8 going to give me 1, 2, 3, 4, which is giving me 4 out of 8. So any way you want to do it, you arrive at the same answer. Arrive at the same answer. So 1 out of 8 plus 3 out of 8 is 4 out of 8. Add the numerators and maintain one of the denominators. That is for addition and subtraction of fraction with like denominators or same denominators. Like denominators or same denominators. When it is subtraction, it is the same thing. So let's say I have 7 out of 11 minus 3 out of 11. What do I do? 7 minus 3 out of 11. And 7 minus 3 is 4 out of 11. If I want to use the number line to do it, I'm just going to have 1 out of 11, 2 out of 11, 3 out of 11, 4 out of 11, 5 out of 11, 6 out of 11, 7, 6 out of 11, 8 out of 11, 9 out of 11, 10 out of 11, and then 11 out of 11. Yeah, so this is one whole. So from here to here is one whole. So if I have 7 out of 11, so this is going to be my 7 out of 11. But because it is subtraction, I have to go backwards. No addition, you have to go forward, keep counting it, adding it up. But subtraction, you are taking it away, so you go backward. How many? 3. 3 out of 11. So I go 1, 2, 3. And then it lands me at 4 out of 11. So 7 out of 11 minus 3 out of 11 is 4 out of 11. It's 4 out of 11. If I want to use illustration for it too, it's going to be the same thing. I have 7. I have a whole divided into 11 parts. These are not drawn to scale, so let's take it like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, I have 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So let's say 11. Yeah, these are not drawn to scale, forgive me. It should be the same sizes. So 1, 2, let's assume they are the same sizes. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, it's okay. Let's assume they are of the same size. They are supposed to be of the same. So we assume they are of the same size. And then how many parts is taking? 7 out of 11. So what is 7 out of 11? So meaning picking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 out of 11. And then I'm taking away 3 out of 11. So if I'm taking 3 out of 11 from the 7 out of 11, so this could be the 3 I'm taking. 1, 2, 3. What am I left with? I'm left with 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm left with 4 out of 11. So any way you do it, addition, subtraction of fraction with the same denominators, just follow the same procedure. You know that addition is adding up, putting together. Subtraction is taking away from it. So that is it. Yeah, at your level, I would advise use the algebraic way, but if you still want to use the illustration number line, you can use any of them. They all work. Maintain one of the denominators, add or subtract the numerators. But what if they are not the same denominators? If the denominators are not the same, what do you do? So let's say 1 out of 2 plus 1 out of 3. 1 out of 2 plus 1 out of 3. What do you do? Yeah. So if you have something like this, what you do is you change to same denominators. So you change the fractions to same denominators, and then you add them or subtract them using. But how do you change it to same denominators? Let's look at it. Any number times 1 is the same numbers. Is the same number. So if I have 5 times 1 is equal to 5. 10 times 1 is equal to 10. 50 times 1 is equal to 50. So any number you multiply it by 1, yeah, the result is the same number. And then any number that you divide by the same number, the result is 1, right? I hope you know this already. 5 divided by 5 is 1. 4 divided by 4 is 1. 2 divided by 2 is 1. 100 divided by 100 is 1. Is 1. So we are going to use this mathematical principle to change the fraction. I think I mentioned of equivalent fraction. Not sure if it was you, but yeah, I think I mentioned of equivalent fraction. So with that idea, you can do that. So with that idea of multiplication of 1 and then division of same number, we'll change the fraction to have the same denominators. Because what happens is if I multiply 1 out of 2 by 1, I still get 1 out of 2. If I multiply 1 out of 2 by 1, I still get 1 out of 2. So, but if I multiply, and then if I divide 2 by 2, I get 1. 2 divided by 2 is equal to 1. And then 1 out of 2 times 1 is equal to 1 out of 2. So meaning 1 out of 2 times 2 out of 2, whatever I get should be able to be equivalent to 1 out of 2 because 2 divided by 2 is 1. Is 1. Yeah, I've not mentioned of multiplication of fraction, but if you're multiplying fraction, multiply the numerators, multiply the denominators. So this one going to be 1 times 2 is 2. 2 times 2 is 4. And then 2 out of 2 is equivalent to 1 out of 2 is the same thing. They are equivalent fractions. The equivalent fraction. You can see that illustration over here. This is a whole. If I divide it, this is 1 out of 2. This is the same whole. I'm talking of this fraction. So this fraction, which is 2 out of 4. This fraction, which is 2 out of 4, is the same as this fraction, which is 1 out of 2. That's equivalent fractions. That's equivalent fraction. So now that I can change it. So what I would do is, let me erase this to have space to work on this. This is just something to help you understand the concept of what I'm trying to do. So I'm going to have 1 out of 2 times 2 out of 2 plus I want to change okay, I wouldn't use that. This wouldn't work. That was just an illustration for you. So what I want to do here is that I want to have same denominators. So I look for common factors. So I could see that a common factors for 2 and 3 is 6. Common factors for 2 and 3 is 6. If you look at factors of 2, common multiple, yeah, let's use that. Common multiple of 2 and 3 is 6. So 2 multiples of 2, you're going to have 2, 4, 6, 8, and then 3, you're going to have 3, 6, 9, going like that. So the common multiple is 6. Common multiple is 6. So what I would do is, what do I multiply by 2 to get 6, which is 3? What do I multiply by 3 to get 6, which is 2? So I'm going to multiply the first fraction by 3. So 1 out of 2 times 3 out of 3. 3 out of 3 is 1. 1 times 1 out of 2 is still 1 out of 2. So I'm not making any difference. Times 2 out of 2. So this one is going to give me 3 out of 6 plus 2 out of 6. So now I have the same denominators. So I can now do 3 plus 2 over 6, which is 5 out of 6, which is 5 out of 6. Yeah, this is too much of work and then explanation, but I hope you catch it. I was repeating myself over and over, but I hope you catch it. Let's look at another example. Let's say 1 out of 4 plus 3 out of 2. 1 out of 4 plus 3 out of 2. This one doesn't have the same denominators, but this is 4 and this is 2. So what I want to do is I want to change this 2 to 4. So what I'll do is 2 times 4 will give me 4, which is 2. So I'm going to multiply this fraction by 2 out of 2. 2 out of 2 is 1. I'm going to have 1 out of 4 plus 3 out of 2 times 2 out of 2. I'm going to have 1 out of 4 plus 2 times 3 is 6 out of 4. So now I have the same denominators. So I'm going to have 7 out of 4, which is 1 plus 6 is 7 out of 4. 7 out of 4. So that is how you able to do addition and subtraction if the denominators are not the same. If the denominators are not the same. So I hope this will help you. Watch it over and over to get the concept, So if you go here too, so let me just a minute. Where's your IXL? Yeah, so on your IXL, if you go to your class and then you go to K, over here, K, addition and subtraction of fraction. Yeah. So you can look at it over there. Yeah, so K. So after you watch the videos, and then you can start working on this standard K, addition and subtraction fraction. It had so many works that you can do. Okay. So that is it. Thank you.